Dear colleagues, dear friends of naturopathy, in my last video about the introduction to the harmonical frequency procedure, I already showed you the various possibilities of the basic regulation by the harmonical frequency procedure. Now I would like to show you another indispensable instrument of the harmonical frequency procedure, which will excite every beginner as well as advanced practitioners, namely the Intelligent Anamnesis Analysis, in short IAA. You will certainly take a detailed anamnesis in your practice, just like any serious therapist. A thorough anamnesis is our basic tool and therefore also one of our greatest strengths as naturopathic therapists. We take the time to discuss it thoroughly, and patients who come to us expect just that. But we also have to sort through the symptoms, prioritize them, and then decide on a course of action. One point here that should not be underestimated is that this quality of holistic consideration is very time-consuming. Now try to imagine that the moment you are done with your anamnesis, you press a button and the therapy begins. I can literally hear your skepticism, but let me explain how this is possible. Thanks to the research of naturopath Baklayan, the harmonical frequency procedure has come into existence. On the base of this harmonical law, it was then only a small step for him to develop from it the Intelligent Anamnesis Analysis IAA. As you can see here, a very precise and detailed anamnesis is offered. How deep and how differentiated you want to perform the questioning is up to you. All basic functions and symptoms of the person are asked. At the same time, each symptom is given a rating according to the severity of the complaints that the patient reports. This grade decides the duration of the respective frequencies. When you're done with the questioning, everything is saved under the patient's name. You simply start the application. Of course, you can also print out the whole thing or archive it electronically, discuss it with the patient, and put it in the patient's card file as documentation. The next appointments are interesting as well. Symptoms that are no longer present are simply taken out. If there is no improvement, the patient's medical history is reviewed in depth and further differentiations are entered. This is also accurately documented after quite a few appointments. Such a differentiated, helpful and yet practical tool for the frequency therapist is unique. The advantages are obvious. First, the time saving, because the end of the anamnesis is the beginning of the application. For example, you can talk to the patient, explain to him what you are doing, or he relaxes and you can take care of another patient. Secondly, prioritizing the severity of the complaints. By grading, the programs are automatically adjusted to the severity of the symptoms. Third, an accurate differential diagnosis. In this process, you are guided through the questioning in terms of differential diagnosis. Fourth, you also have a memory guide so you don't forget important correlations. Fifth, the documentation and the entire course of therapy are recorded. Sixth, the individual adjustment. If one of the complaints does not disappear, you dive deeper into the next levels and individualize the application. Through this anamnesis, a bioenergetic testing is no longer necessary and the process can even be delegated. Dear colleagues, I am absolutely convinced of the effectiveness of this system. If your interest is also awoken and you want to know in more detail how you can optimize your work in the practice with it, then give us a call. We will be happy to offer you more detailed information free of charge and without obligation. Now I wish you a good time, feel free to subscribe and see you soon.
Bis bald.